your mission.
Join our mission.
Together we can fight
Fight.
to make things right.
We will
Kicking
rise.
and screaming.
We will rise
Through the murk
and the storms. We will rise.
We will rise.
We will
We must
rise.
let that greed win.
We will rise.
Option.
We shall not conform to injustice. We will rise. We shall not conform to injustice. We will rise.
Keep up the fight.
Justice.
And a special mention to our lead singer, Heather Sharon Bonanzigan, right here.
Alicia for suddenly joining.
And Alicia for suddenly joining us. Wonderful voice. All right. I'd like to call Alec Farker and Marian Endicott to come up. We had also invited Carl Krivar, but he's not well today, so he apologizes. This is an important piece of history because we've been around for 40 years, and it's important to remember why India Workers' Day started, how it started, why are we here today. So I'm gonna turn it over to Alec. Alec Farker used to be at IAVGO in 1983. He worked in many different places, but that's where he was at that time. And Marian Endicott, right here. You'll recall her because she and Alec have been a presence all of these years. Wonderful help from them. And Marian hails from IWC. So let's hear how it was and how it got started and how the times were, so that we can figure where we are today.
Woo!
Thanks, everybody. Also, we have Brian Cook here, who was at IAVGO and played a huge role in what happened that day. For me, it's 50 years. I started as a law student 10 years before Injured Workers Day. And my message is, I'm not nostalgic. I'm very proud of what we've done. I'm looking to the future. I would like to give a little bit of background in a very, very short time. How we got to June 1st, 1983. It was a culmination of years and years of work.
They came out and you know what I mean? You're representing them as well, right?
And there have been major rallies before. Oh, it looks like there's a sound issue. Is this working? We'd had rallies here. 1974, a mass rally. We had a sit-in inside the legislature. I think it was that summer, or right around the same time. That was over the cost of living issue, especially. We had big rallies at the Ministry of Labor. We were really active. But it wasn't just activism. It was deep, deep work that we were doing. It was deep in the community, in the immigrant worker community and the longer time resident community. They all came together, and they were not a mob of people. Sometimes you see a protest on TV or the internet, and it's presented, I think, by the media as a group of angry people yelling and screaming. That is not what we were. That is not how we worked. We worked very deeply. The foundations of that work, I'd ask everybody just turn around and look down the street just for a second. The foundation of our work is that workers built all that. They were proud of what they did. And some of them paid a huge price. Some paid with their lives, but some paid with their bodies. So when they looked at the world, they were proud of the work they'd done. They said, we built this city. And they were angry because the value put on their lives was so little. And that is the value put on their lives by the Workers' Compensation Board. And the third thing is, they had a self-identity, each person. They were an injured worker. They were recognized as a long-term permanent injured worker, and they got a pension for that. So the pension was part of their individual and collective identity. So how did we organize? Orlando's standing right here and he'll remember a lot of it. We read you a list of names. Each of those is a dedicated working class person who dug deep and did big things. Some were Italian Canadian women. There'd be meetings, just women. They were the heart and soul of some of our rallies. People like Santina Tatangelo, Germina Di Michele, and others. Next piece. These were not ignorant people. They deeply studied what was going on. They knew everything that was happening. They knew what the government commissions were looking at. They knew what proposals there were. They saw the threat it posed to their permanent status as injured workers. We were trying to build on that status. We certainly didn't want to see it torn down and replaced by the deeming system that we have today. So I'll finish this way. When we came on June 1st, 1983, we came with knowledge, not ignorance. We came with hope, not despair. We came with solidarity, not just a bunch of individuals. We came with a vision for the future. The people standing here that day, I can close my eyes and see them. They were patient. They stood here in this day just like this for hours, peaceful and quiet, but holding the legislators to account. Up on those stairs was a table, and the legislators were at that table, and they desperately wanted to leave, go have their lunch, get out of here. And injured workers wouldn't let them. Every time they tried to leave, basically we would stop them, and they had to stay. They had to listen. So our job for the future, let's make them listen. Let's let them see what is really going on. And what is really going on is the value put on working class lives is a pitiful travesty of what it should be. The contribution of workers is tremendous and needs to be valued. And we've got years ahead of us. And in those years ahead of us, we're going to get bigger, stronger. We're going to win more victories. And that's what today is all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. You're a good example of fighting on. And he's one of the most active retirees. My sister, Marian Endicott.
Hi, everybody. It's so great to be here. And just a reminder from Alex's comments that, you know, why was the legislative committee here sitting outside? There's never been a legislative committee sitting outside. And the reason for that was that so many people turned up to say what they wanted to say at the rooms that had been booked over there somewhere, that what to do. And the committee thought, well, maybe we'll arrange things to come back another day. And people said, no, we want to be heard today. And so they moved the whole thing right here. And so, you know, as we've heard on that day, June 1st, 1983, injured workers for once were calling the MPPs to their attention. They had the floor, they demanded attention, and for once the MPPs really gave them attention. Now, the injured workers didn't speak the language of law, you know, lawyers or the legal people, nor the language of parliamentary committees. But Justice Meredith coined a phrase which we all know here: compensation as long as disability lasts. And several signs, to put it in more simple language, holding it up: pension for life or disability for life. Injured workers spoke about the need for more, not less security, just as you do here today. They spoke about the loss of dignity, their desire for recognition and respect for the work that they had done and for the injuries that they had sustained. And these messages were delivered in various ways on that day, through the placards, through speeches, and sometimes shouts. One injured worker, Tony Mauro, who was mentioned today as one of the people who passed away, he wrote a poem. And it's a poem that sums up the frustration, the loss, and the aspiration of so many assembled that day. And he recited it powerfully, right here, on this historic occasion 40 years ago. And it is called The Injured Workers. I will read it to you now. Oh, Canada, we gave you the very best. We say this with pride. We gave you nothing but the best. We gave you our blood, our bones, our flesh. We made you the most beautiful. We made Toronto the queen of cities. We built office towers and homes. Oh, Canada, you are the envy of all. Oh, Canada, we built you up. Our blood is mixed into your cement. We are but innocent victims of a progress we pay dearly for. Mothers destroyed by pain, spouses staring at loss, children without a parent. What else do you want? The day of our injury was the loss of human rights. Not even our Canada pension plan wants our contributions now. No compensation for pay. Charity from month to month looked upon from provincial lenses. But are we not perfectly Canadian? A life of hell confined to the margins of society, was this justice denied? Why the trip and why? Oh, Canada, we gave you so much. Why so much cruelty in return? Are we just an old tool? Good yesterday, garbage today.
Thank you very much, Mary. Good yesterday, garbage today? No. Good yesterday, still very good today.
So next, we're gonna actually ask Wayne to come up. If you don't mind?
Wayne is the executive VP for the Ontario Network of Injured Workers Groups. So in a sense, we're going from the early history to today's struggles.
I'd like to welcome everyone here for the 40th anniversary of Injured Workers Day at Queen's Park. Thanks for coming and supporting injured workers. Wayne Harris, UA Local 853, Sprinkler Centers of Ontario for over 34 years. Executive Board Member, Chair of our Political Education Committee, Executive Vice President of the Ontario Network of Injured Workers Group, ONUWIG, and an injured worker from 2012. The historic compromise of 1914 saw workers give up their right to sue, and in return, workers would receive duty of care. Over a few decades, compensation boards across Canada have brought in paper doctors that are hired by these boards. These doctors have no duty of care over the patients they are hired to provide opinions about. We need the federal government, yes, this is the Canada problem, to remind these doctors of the Hippocratic oath, do no harm, and the true meaning of duty of care. If injured or ill workers are not allowed to listen to their treating doctors, then how will they heal? If these boards continue to operate in this way, then when will workers be given the right to sue? If the WSIB wants to take the responsibility of not listening to our treating doctors and continue to listen to their paid doctors, then in the event that person is left with a permanent impairment from this process, then that person should be able to have compensation or held accountable in the court of law. Question: if the WSIB is able to continue hiring doctors that have no duty of care over their patients, how does this work in a system where workers gave up their right to sue their employer for duty of care? The blood, sweat, and tears of workers enabled the employer to have cheap insurance. Insurance, knowing that if an employee has an accident, that employee will not be able to sue. Employees should receive duty of care from this system created so that injured or ill persons are not a drain on society. The KPMG report reminds me that the system is broken. Injured or ill workers are not provided any duty of care from the WSIB or their employers. The way to fix the appeal system is not to impose shorter time limits as outlined by the KPMG report for injured and ill persons to appeal. It's to look at the reasons all these workers are appealing the decisions made by the WSIB.
Here, here.
Before they go on to the WSIAT, Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal. Workers need a duty of care if they become ill or injured that allows them to listen to their doctors, take the medications their doctors prescribe, and time to heal as recommended by our doctors. The hiring of doctors that have no duty of care are being paid by the WSIB for their opinion, as the WSIB has been given the power to deny claims, deem workers fit and capable of working, has made it socially acceptable to send workers back to work on opiates. This has to be removed from the WSIB's to provide duty of care. Injured and ill workers denied by the compensation board will not go away. Their injuries just won't disappear. They will just become a taxpayer problem, all while the WSIB has $7 billion surplus.
Shame.
The WSIB's sole responsibility is to help workers should they become injured on the job. Today, June 1st, Injured Workers Day, Ontario Health and Safety Act requires certain workplaces to have naloxone kits in the workplace. Although construction is responsible for 1/3 of the overdoses in Ontario, other industries are plagued with opiate use as well. There is a stigma in the province of Ontario. If you are injured at work, don't complain. Take the medication you are prescribed and go back to work. You don't count. This has for decades allowed the WSIB to force workers to go back to work and has made it socially acceptable to have contributed to the workplace. After having 7 shoulder surgeries,
This
I
time
know
we're
the
gonna let him
importance
speak.
Okay.
of
Your
listening
question.
to my doctor and the harmful effects of going back
What's
to
his name
work
again?
while on
Andrew
opiates.
Shiner.
I am hopeful moving forward, all workers will stand up
SCHRINER.
for injured workers and remove
Andrew?
opiates from the workplace.
Is
An
it Andrew?
injury to one is an injury to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. Stay for a second. We have a present for the new Oniwig leaders here. Jim Zhang, can you come up, please?
Hey, Jim.
Jim Zhang.
Out wherever you are. Here he comes. Woo!
And the present comes from those that have been around and are going to continue to support them. So we give the new activists a fresh new megaphone so that they can speak even louder.
If you're just joining us, we're coming to you live from Ontario, Canada.
An injury to all. Again.
An injury to one is an injury to all.
One more time.
An injury to one is an injury to all.
Keep it.
Okay.
He's
So
saying
now,
an injury to one is an injury to the world. An injury to one is an injury to all.
Now
We're
I'm
coming
going
to you live from
introduce
Ontario,
some of
Canada.
the
We're
ladies
Canadian farm
and
workers along with
co-doctors,
Jamaicans
and she is from the
are
Org House,
demonstrating and
and would like to
also
share some of her
celebrating 40
information.
years.
Please
Yeah,
welcome
Not
that's-
really
Jen.
celebrating, but you know, 40 years of migrant workers in Canada who has been abused and sent back home to Jamaica. Some of them is
Good morning,
blind.
everyone. My name is Janice Dawson. I'm the Executive Vice President of the Ontario Federation of Labor. My pronouns are she and her. I reside on Upper Canada Treaty Number 3 territory. Thank you for having me here today. I'm an advocate for injured and ill workers, as well as an injured worker myself. Because of my workplace injury, I now live with a permanent disability. I know what it's like to navigate both as an able-bodied person and then
Mike
a person
Schreiner.
with a disability. The difference is vast. It can often be lonely and frustrating to advocate on your own.
Andrew's here.
But I never feel lonely when I'm with this crowd
He's the PC
because
though,
we
isn't he?
understand each other. We take care of each other.
Yes.
I'm of two minds about being here today. On one hand, today is about our collective strength. It's about how we gather every single year for the past 40 years fighting for injured and ill workers to get the compensation they deserve. It's beautiful, it's powerful, it's historic. On the other hand, I'm sick and tired of standing here and begging for compensation
Mike
that
Shiner's.
each and every injured worker has a
Yes, we're gonna have
legislative
him
and
up.
moral right
Okay,
to.
okay, he has to leave
I'm
in about
sick and
10
tired
minutes.
of the
So
fact
gonna
that
have him-
50%
yeah,
of injured workers are at or below the poverty line. At the OFL, we get calls from injured workers saying, I had no idea it was so difficult to get compensation until I was injured. Some have lost their homes while they waited for compensation. Others who don't own a home are forced to access ODSP instead of a compensation system paid by employers who injured us. Last year, the Ford government said they would look into increasing the amount that workers received of their pre-injury wages from 85 to 90%. With the cost of living crisis, 5% is little more than a pittance, but that 5% could make something for injured workers who can't often work and can't afford rent or groceries. But so far, Ford has done nothing to follow up on his promises or even just looking into it. What's more, what does he need to look into? Wage loss rates are at 90% already in many other provinces. What more does he need to see? That injured workers are suffering? He's just not looking. He's just not listening. The latest attack on workers is the WSIB soliciting the multi-billion-dollar private consulting firm KPMG
No.
process. The process a worker or the representative must use to appeal a WSIB decision they feel is wrong. Only now, with mounting pressure from the worker and advocate community, is the WSIB saying they will consult injured and ill workers on the report. But the KMG report now rests in the slippery hands of Doug Ford on whether or not to implement the recommendations set forth in the report. How scary is that? How wrong is that? How genuine will this consultation be by the WSIB now that the power rests with the provincial government to enact the recommendations if they so choose? It is not unsimilar to when the WSIB manufactured an unfunded liability crisis to the tune of 11.5 billion in 2008. And guess what happened just last year? The WSIB announced they had a healthy surplus, and the Ford government
We do apologize. It seems as we have lost the feed coming in from Canada, where farm workers are demonstrating. Believe you me, there is some stuff going on that unbelievable. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Where Jamaican farm workers, along with other nations within the Caribbean and Latin America, who are on the farm work, Some of them come back home because of the chemical they inhale. Then they come back home, you know, they don't have any use to their wife, they're not use to themselves. The government of Jamaica don't look at them, they can hardly buy any medication. And it is sad. It is sad. The farm workers over there in Canada reached out to me and asked if I could bring it live on my channel, and I told them yes. We have lost the feed coming into us from them. You know, so we're here. Hopefully we can get back the feed. We're not sure, but hopefully we can get back the feed. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Hopefully we can get back the feed coming in from them.
Do you need graphic design services? Or maybe you need branding for your business? How about multimedia production services? Contact Browns Media and Graphics at 876-877-1870. Browns Media and Graphics.
Source of authority in our constitution is Jamaica, nowhere else. And the embodiment of that source of authority is the office of the president, or whatever we may decide to call the president. Right now, the constitution that we have still has some of the prerogatives flowing from elsewhere. Many of these prerogatives are not exercised now and probably never will be exercised. So there are people who would say, well, you know, the king not troubling us. The queen never trouble us. So just leave the arrangements as they are. And I know that is a thought in many people's minds. But it is also a thought to say that is not sufficient. If you are a self-respecting country that is seeking to strike your own path, create your own institutions, build something in your likeness, then let's complete the process. Let's complete the independence. That in the coming months, as the Constitutional Reform Commission goes through the island, having these public discourses and conversation, that this issue of completing our sovereignty, what it means, will be debated. And hopefully the public will understand and agree that it is something that we should do, both from a symbolic point of view and in function as well in terms of our legal arrangements.
We give up a lot. When I became member here, I didn't know what the salary was, you know. For a couple of months, I was really dealing with what I was earning as a lawyer. When I heard that the salary was, I nearly died. Chicken feed, of course.
Mr. Speaker, like our new member from Portland said, and she's over there smiling, beautiful speaking can increase parliamentarian salary. Can increase parliamentary. Is action going to do that? Not a bag of mouth. A Jamaican MP earns around 40% less than his or her Barbadian counterpart. Not much over $7 million. The Jamaican Prime Minister's basic salary, is not in here, is around half of his Barbadian counterpart, about half. We're joking around. $7 million a year. When a country seeks a politician, they often want in him or her the strength of an eagle, the grace of a swan, the gentleness of a dove, the friendliness of a sparrow, and the night hours of an owl. And when they catch that bird or that candidate, they expect him to live on the food of a canary. And yes, that's how it goes, Speaker. I am going to go further. If when you and I leave this parliament and you can't put two things together, then say you're a fool. If you can put two things together, then say you're a thief. I'm not asking if it's true. I tell you that that is so.
Yeah. Parliamentarians seem to be the only set of public sector officials or workers without representation on welfare issues. Well, you see that one, yeah. Yes. Permanent secretaries have the Jamaica Civil Service Association that negotiate on their behalf. Permanent secretaries. The Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions and other associations negotiate for other servants in the public sector, be they teachers, as you heard from the minister, be they teachers, doctors, nurses, civil servants, or ancillary workers. All are looked after by their representative. In fact, Mr. Speaker, there are over 150 of these, as you heard from the Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, the question is, who looked after us as representatives in this House? Who looks after us? Right now, no one. I beg your pardon? Yeah, man, everyone, yes, no one. Well, I rely on my integrity report to show that I am not, but that aside. Sadly, Mr. Speaker, no one. We need a union. We need a union. Consequently, Mr. Speaker, I am proposing that a negotiating committee consisting of the Speaker, the leader of government business and his or her deputy, along with the leader of opposition business and his or her deputy, be established to negotiate with the Ministry of Finance on issues of welfare for members of Parliament. We need a union. No, listen, man. When last have we been called as a Parliament to discuss our welfare?
There has been several reports of committees established by both sides of this Honorable House at various times.
These include, Mr. Speaker,
the Ashenheim report in 1973,
47 years ago.
The Sasso review in 1981, some 39 years ago. The Fletcher review in 1989, 31 years ago. Is not yesterday, Mr. Speaker. And the latest report of the Parliamentary Salaries Review Committee, chaired by the Honorable Oliver.
40 years. 40 years.
We don't plan to disappear.
Disappear.
Compensation is a right.
Compensation is a right.
Don't give up without a fight.
Don't give up the right to fight.
Justice for injured workers.
Justice for injured workers.
Great rehearsal, guys. Okay, everybody, we're going to start this going around, but I want to also thank everybody that showed up today. I see UFCW, IAM, I've seen Injured Workers Action for Justice, I've seen Justiça. I want to thank everybody that came, and I want to hope that, the OFL, I also want to thank the OFL for showing up as well.
With me.
And I want to put a special thank out to Steele for offering up the hall for the space at the end of the day. So if you want to start gathering around with the marshals.
We have
All right.
a lot of banners and signs on the lawn.
Okay.
So we can pick it up
And we've been informed that we have many banners and signs. If you don't have one, please come over to the corner here and grab one so that we can all walk down and use our voice and use our sign, and let's make some noise.
Yay.
Sheldon McKenzie. Let me have this one.
Come. All right.
Are you driving the van there?
Yeah, I was
Okay, yeah, okay.
I'll follow the crowd. So what I'm getting in the van, we're taking, we don't have the police.
So
we're gonna take, I saw a couple of bike guys.
maybe they come.
This is Sheldon
a couple
McKenzie
of
that died some years
maybe.
ago.
They didn't promise it.
Okay, well, I'll just
Migrant
follow down
farm
the
worker?
bus because I've got like 5 injured
Well,
workers
there's in
in the
there.
van. And
ICU
I don't think I should do it.
and the Jamaican liaison officer
I
going there
know.
to take him out to send him.
Hello, my friend. Good.
Died.
Good to see you.
I received letter yesterday.
That's it.
Oh my goodness. Oh
We're
yeah,
all
I
here
saw it
fighting
too.
for one
They said
cause.
The doctor says you're better.
for human rights for migrant workers, immigrant workers, refugees, Canadian
Here.
citizens, and
Hello.
all workers. We are here fighting. We are going to march to the Ministry of Labor, where Mr. Justice
I'm so
will give
disappointed.
his speech there at the Labor Board.
I know.
And that's where everything all began.
Take the bus. Going down.
Join us
You wanna?
on this march as we march on the Labor Board of Canada.
I'm walking, but I'm walking slow. So I don't
Yeah,
know how
yeah.
slowly you guys are walking.
Well, there's a bus. You know. Well, let's go see. Did you turn it off? I have no idea. I forgot I was carrying it. I saw down. I saw down. We just have to go, you know why?
Anyone want to say a few words? Anyone want to say a few words? Yeah, anyone you want to say a few words? I'm live. I'm live on YouTube.
I'm gonna bullshit them though.
Speak, my brother.
Hello everyone. First of all, I don't pray for anyone to be in my condition. That's my first prayer. But second thing is, if you ever think Canada is a good country, yes it is. But there's a lot of garbage system, especially a system that do not support hardworking citizens. And this is just because of the bureaucracy. Government is turning a deaf ear to people who need the help the most. The workforce people who are the injury that change their lifetime, government do not care about them. They left them to deal with WSIB, which is a fraud. WSIB care to save money for the bosses and the CEO, companies, incorporations, but do not care about the life of injured worker. And these, the people in the law, the people in social science, they need to look into this because citizens are suffering. Citizens are dying every day. I survived to live after I've lost three of my co-workers in workplace injury. This is so sad. And this is happening in Canada. The whole world needs to stand up and fight for this freedom. There's a lot of things going on in Canada that is not justified. Thank you all.
Okay. Hey, Jamaica. My God. We're here today at Queen's Park. We're asking for justice, justice for injured migrant workers. We have been treated so unfairly, so unkind. We have been misused and abused, doing, you know, the dangerous, dirty. This it's crazy the way our government has, you know, put us in a position where we are not able to to get the help that we need when we are injured. I am walking with a cane, right? I still am not able to get the health care that I need to get well so I can get back to taking care of my family. My reason for coming here, Jamaica, is to take care of my family. I leave ill mom and my child that has to leave school now. He has to drop out of school because I am not able to work to take care of him. When the only reason why I came on the program is to take care of my family. Now of, sorry? Yeah, we want justice, full justice, no half measures. And we need the system that has been put in place from 1966 to be changed. We don't want the program to be abolished. We want it to be fixed. That's what we want. Fix the program. Stop this indentured labor, this setup where we can't get the treatment that we need. We need things to be put in place where we get health care when we are injured. We need things to be put in. A matter of fact, we want status on arrival. Why? Because without status, you cannot access healthcare, you cannot access anything at all. You can't get medication, you can't get anything. I have to pay over $2,000 for an ambulance to pick me up when I pass out because of the injuries that I have. I have multiple injuries and I'm still suffering. Talking to you in pain, just going through the motions. And the government do not care, as they come and say there is nothing wrong. And the people who are saying that there's something wrong, they don't think that it is true. From the fact-finding team, what they have said, we are liars. That's what they're saying. Straight up, we are liars. But let me tell you something. We are the one that is living it. We are the ones that are living this. I am the one that is feeling the pain. And it's not just me, it's a lot of us that is in this group that is suffering. People back home that is crying out for help. No food, nothing to give their children. So it's not just us that is injured. When we are injured as the breadwinner of our family, also our family, our children are suffering. We need a change. We need justice, full justice, no half measure. We need it now. We need justice now. We need justice now. When you send us here, I had to sign a document to say they are not responsible for me. How can you not be responsible for me? I am from Jamaica. How can you not want to take care of me if something is wrong? Why are we being left undone when our money is coming back to the government? When we are bringing in so much money to the country, why aren't we gotten treated? Why are we not getting treatment? Why is nobody looking out for us? Yes, you're happy that we go and we make the money to send back in the country. But when we are injured, there is nobody to look out for us. We are, you know what? We are blocked from the program. Yes. We are blocked from the program. Red mark is at our name that we are AWOL. We have not run off to anywhere. We are here saying we are standing and asking for justice because we are not getting the treatment that we are supposed to. We are not getting the housing that they say we will get good housing. My experience is that is plyboard and put up on a block with some old clothes on it. People, I'm not hiding anything from you. I am telling you straight up my experience. I am not telling you what I hear from somebody. I'm telling you what I have lived. I am telling you that we are going through this because the government has failed to put things in place for us to get the treatment that we need. The Canadian government is not doing the things that is to be done. They have not put things in place. The employers are not held accountable. We are supposed to get we're sorry. Yeah, we are supposed to get sorry. Yes, yeah. Okay, yeah. So sorry guys. We'll talk later.
Going for a commercial break. Join us back in 5 minutes. Okay? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Break. Go for a commercial break for 5 minutes. We'll be there. a government of Jamaica tour?
Yes, but not you. You tour with the parish council.
So I am following.
No, you don't follow my tour. I'm a tour with, you see, it's a political tour.
Right, and it's a government, so I want to know what is
Caretakers
happening.
not recognize, hold on, caretakers
I
not
am a
recognize
citizen
constitution.
of Jamaica.
Then
I
I want
want
to
to know what is happening.
You hear me? Caretakers are not recognized in the constitution of Jamaica.
I don't know about caretaker. I'm a citizen of this country.
Well,
and I have interest in this
keep your interest
area.
to yourself.
No.
And your yard.
No,
Don't come on my tour.
interest.
Don't come on my tour.
May I share my interest?
I don't want you here.
Eh?
I'm here with the member of parliament. You know.
Well, I am here.
This will consult me.
I am here.
Me not tour with consult with him. Tour with the mayor.
I am here.
All right, tour with the mayor.
I am here.
So wait, who invited you?
I'm a citizen of this
Only
country.
drink, laugh, and fly when you invite you.
Well, guess what? You know who you invite. So if you invite me as well, you invite me.
Drink, laugh, and fly when you invite you. I don't tour with consult with the caretakers, regardless of party. Regardless of the party. I don't differentiate parties, you know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't different parties,
I
sir.
don't know what you're talking about parties, Minister. I'm a citizen of this
No,
country.
I'm told the member of parliament.
And I am
If you
following.
need information, ask sir.
And I will ask her when the time.
Right. I don't tour with consult with the caretakers.
So who's the council again?
So you.
I am the council again. I'm the MP aspirant for East Portland.
No worries.
Right. I'm the MP aspirant for East Portland. Close your eyes then.
What?
Close your eyes.
Close
Close your eyes if you don't want to see. I am here.
The time to change the system to a fixed election date is now. The time to change the system to a fixed election date is now. Within our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica. This will bring greater certainty to the political process. And by the way, the date will be a date after the budget and not before. So no government will be able to come and make false promises and hide the truth and tell you half truths and trick you into voting for them, and then when them win, them throw on poison.
Do you need graphic design services? Or maybe you need branding for your business? How about multimedia production services? Contact Browns Media and Graphics at 876-877-1870. Browns Media and Graphics, developing your ideas, creating your style.
The time to change the system to a fixed election date is now. The time to change the system to a fixed election date is now. Within our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica. This will bring greater certainty to the political process. And by the way, the date will be a date after the budget and not before. So no government will be able to come and make false promises and hide the truth and tell you half truths and trick you into voting for them, and then when them win, them throw on poison.
You, Prime Minister, should pack your bags and go. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman. All right, Mr. Small. You, Prime Minister, should pack your bags and go. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman. All right, Mr. Small. You, Prime Minister, should pack your bags and go. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman. All right, Mr. Small.
The problem? We have an inordinate amount of legislation that has not been updated, because they're the same ones whose responsibility it is who have failed to have adequate sittings in Parliament to ensure it gets done. They haven't done their work. So unfortunately, from our perspective, offering to only take 20 is a panacea. It does not cure the problem. What we need, and what every Jamaican should be demanding out of this situation, is greater accountability.
Neither does she buy into assertions by the government that the new compensation package will attract more qualified and experienced Jamaicans to the political directorate.
When they sought for the positions, they offered to serve. They did not say, we are applying for a job and these are our skill sets. They offered to serve. And in offering to serve, don't turn around and tell the people, we must pay you to get proper service. That's where the disconnect is.
The NIA wants the government to implement measures to ensure greater accountability and responsibility.
Part of accountability, which is one of the tenets that NIA is pushing for, is to say to people, if you want us to trust you, tell us, we will accept this as our reasonable income, and you don't have to wait for an election to determine if we are performing poorly. Here is the impeachment legislation that has been in draft already.
Ms. Archer is also of the view that the government is not playing fair, particularly to public sector workers.
Every public servant has within their job description an accountability mechanism. Make them not come and work one day. Make them come and work too late. What? You understand what I'm saying? When you're ready to assess them, how do you determine the amount them get for the assessment? You know, do one appraisal, and when you do the appraisal, you say, all right, you score high, so you get high. You score low, so you get low. But here, everybody gets. There's no appraisal. There is no determination on good performance or bad performance.
We do apologize for the live feed coming in from Canada. I think they're having some technical difficulties sending a live feed to the Make We Talk program. So we're going to go off air. I do apologize to all those who are on trying to listen and trying to see what is going on with the Jamaicans demonstrating in Canada. Not only Jamaican farm workers, but other people and Canadian citizens are joining in the protest also to boost up what is going on with Jamaican farm workers in Canada and also other Caribbean nationals. We do apologize to you all. The feed that is coming into us has gone. I am trying to get back the gentleman to see what can happen. We're not able to get him back. So I think we are going to go off air. We do apologize to you all about this because I know every one of us would love to see what is going on. Okay, I am here. I'm hearing now that he is on location. So let us see what can happen because he said he's on location now. He said he's on location now, so I guess we're going to get back the live feed coming up. So just bear with us, please, and I hear what he's saying. If not, then we just go off air until the next time. But he said he's on location there now. He's at another location where some other people are there, injured migrant workers. And you know, some people in the chat room are saying that if they're working and they can't stand the job or whatever, they must just go back home. You know, sometimes we talk, you know, and we don't know the details of stuff. And yes, we have a right to speak, but based on what I'm getting, that you go there and you work. You go there and it work. Yes, and you know, when you go there to work, they promise that they'll give you the necessary gears for you to wear. Now, you know, when you go, the necessary gears are not there. They're giving you chemicals that you're not supposed to be using it. But of course, you're using it because you're on a job. And at the end of the day, you take down sick and there's nobody there to assist you. So I think that is why, you know, they are all demonstrating. This has been going on for a long, long time now. A long, long, long time this has been going on and nothing has been done about it. So Canadian citizens, along with other nationals, team up with the Jamaicans and decide that they're going to take to the streets in Canada. And this organizing of this demonstration was not only done by Jamaicans, was done by Canadian citizens who are not even Jamaicans. Because this is what is going on. Because this is what is going on, they decide to take to the streets. You know? So we, as individuals, sometimes when we see things and we bring things to you, we must think on two sides of the coins. We must think on one side. Because when they tell them down at the Ministry of Labor in Jamaica that, you know, they're going to go on farm work program, and I'm hearing about farm work program. I never know it was this. I never know that people go through all of this. I never know. Until a gentleman reached out to me by the name of Mr. Justice. He reached out to me and started telling me things. I'm going to have them on my program pretty soon. They're just sorting out some stuff before they can come on the program. And we're going to speak some more about it. Because what is going on, it is unacceptable, and the Jamaican government is lying to the people. The Jamaican government is lying to the people. Let's hope that this new Minister of Labour and Social Security, Colonel Charles Jr., will be better than the former Minister of Social Security, Carl Samuda. Let's pray and hope that this new minister will be much better than Carl Samuda. Because what is going on in Canada, my God, is only God alone can help us. If you come back home, there's no medication here in Jamaica. The government no assist you when you come back home. So if you stay in Canada, at least you can get some Canadian assistance. There's nobody. The Ministry of Labour is yet to answer a request from me pertaining to what is going on. You know? I'm getting back the live feed coming in from Canada. I'm waiting to get some audio from them. The government of Jamaica is yet to answer to a request that I made to them to come under the program and clarify if the migrant workers are telling lies. And until now, the ministry haven't responded to me pertaining to it. But if it was some other mainstream media who they're giving taxpayers money to in commercials, they would have answered to the mainstream media. I never call no name.
1, 2, 3. Mic test. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Justice, I'm hearing you loud and
Okay,
clear.
we are now at the Labour Board. So, catch them marching down now.
That's a live feed coming into us from Canada where migrant workers are demonstrating because of what is going on. Injured migrant workers. So many of our fellow Jamaicans go and farm work and come back home sick because of the toxic chemicals that they use. I'll tell you something, you know. We don't do nothing about it. We just sit down in this country. And the two political parties know about it. The two political parties for years continue sending our Jamaicans into modern day slavery. And I will not apologize to no one and I keep on saying modern day slavery. It is modern day slavery. It is. And that is why Canadians decide to take to the streets. That is why Canadian citizens decide to speak out for migrant workers, to speak out for Jamaicans. If nobody not doing it, the Jamaican embassy in Canada not doing a damn thing. The liaison officers for migrant workers not doing nothing. And the former minister of Labour and Social Security said he went to Canada and there's nothing wrong. And him sent a fact-finding team and a comeback and everything was copacetic.
So this is live from Ontario, Canada.
This is a live feed coming to us from Canada where
we take our protest to the Labour Board today to voice our concern. Yes, they do not want us to call it modern day slavery. They want me to call it indentured labor. So it's a fancy name. But everyone knows here, even Canadian citizens, call it that. So it's what it is. It's just what it is. It's real reality of life, of what we experience when we come here. From the moment you arrive on the farm, your basic rights has taken away from you. You have no say. None. They control everything. Every single thing. Some of them even took away all your travel documents and hold them ransom. Hold them ransom. That's so much power that they gave to the employer here. So I'm gonna put it now because we're about to start. Right here.
You know, look at it. Canadian citizens teaming up with other nationals to speak out of the injustice. And look at us in Jamaica. We sit down and accept what the government doing to us because what? We're labor right. And if pain pin power, we are comrade. Canadians and Americans don't think about Democrats or Republicans, and Canadians don't think about the party that is in power. Opposition, they think about their country. But we in Jamaica don't think about our country. We think about our party. We're more to pull down our fellow Jamaicans and build them up. You believe that the recent salary increase in our country, you see thousands and thousands of Jamaicans on the street? No.
That's a Canadian citizen crying out. People are fed up and tired of the injustice that we all face here. All as workers, it's exploitation on the migrant side, and it's, as you can see here, majority of these people here are injured. They're injured workers. So you know something is wrong. If you have a country and you have so many injured workers, something is wrong.
I'm wondering if the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau not seeing what is going on.
An injury to one?
It's an injury to all!
An injury to one?
It's an injury to all!
An injury to one?
It's an injury to all!
I can't hear you! An injury to one?
It's an injury to all!
An injury to one?
It's an injury to all!
We're here!
Yes, we're here! So do you guys believe now the fault finding team, or you believe who are here?
Is coming right up. See them over there. After this event, everyone is invited to the Steelworkers Hall at 25 Cecil Street. You just follow the banner that came down, right? So we're going to have some food, some water, refreshments.
Catch that. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna step away now, guys. I'm gonna show you the next group coming up. So this group is actually crossing the road now in their numbers. This is over, I think this group alone is about 500. Maybe 1,000. I think this maybe be 1,000. About 1,000 people here marching in now.
This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
So guys, the road is literally blocked. No car can go through, that's why they hear the honking of the horn. The road is literally blocked right now. The road is literally blocked. So as far as you can see, so I may be wrong about the figures because this cannot count. This cannot be counted. So Mr. Justice tuning in live from out of Canada with Jeffrey Tavares. The Jamaican government and the fault-finding team try to debunk what we are saying, but now you're seeing it for yourself. It should be shared on every platform. Share it. Share it to your friends. Share it to your neighbor. Share it. Solidarity! 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 So I'm gonna try to make my way back now, guys, to get my camera position at the front. Let's go! I'll follow you. It's like a
If you're just joining us, we're coming to you live from Ottawa, Canada, where migrant workers, along with Jamaicans, have took to the streets in Canada to tell the Canadian and Jamaican government that the farm work program is modern-day slavery, that they have been injured on the program and nothing is being done on it routine, not even from Canada or in Jamaica. You can see Canadian citizens, some of them not even have anyone in the farm work program, but they're out there. Would we see something like this in Jamaica?
Union power! Union power! One side of power! Union power! Union power!
All right, let's try some more. The workers united! The workers united!
Will never be defeated!
The workers united!
Will never be defeated!
The workers united!
Will never be defeated! Will never be defeated! The workers united! Will never be defeated! The workers united! Will never be defeated!
All right, we're here for the ministry, and we gotta make sure of one thing. They have to hear us in their fucking ivory tower. The workers united
will never be defeated! The workers united will never be defeated! The workers united will never be defeated! The workers united will never be defeated!
Workers united
will never be defeated! The workers united will never be defeated!
The workers
united will never be defeated!
The workers united
will never be defeated!
The workers
united will never be defeated!
The workers united
will never be defeated!
The workers united
will never be defeated!
The workers united
will never be defeated!
Thank you very much.
Our streets! 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 This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! do? What do we 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 do? 1, 2, 3, 4. We won't take this shit no more. 1, 2, 3, 4. We won't take this shit no more. 5, 6, 7, 8. Organize, retaliate. 5, 6, 7, 8. Organize, retaliate. 1, 2, 3, 4. We won't take this shit no more. 5, 6, 7, 8. Organize, retaliate. 1, 2, 3, 4. We won't take this shit no more. 5, 6, 7, 8. Organize, retaliate. 1, 2, 3, 4. We won't take this shit no more. 5, 6, 7, 8. Organize, retaliate.
Stand as one, right? All as one. Let me hear you all. Stand as one. Let me go to this. Stand for the number one, number one strategy. All things are wrong. This is the number one strategy. Number one. All the time with the strategy. This is right. Such a talk about the strategy. The conversation first place for you and me. A conscious state of mind. Life is glory. Unity, community, aligned, focus, fluently. Using wisdom to work it. And that's everybody. Because solidarity lasts forever. Until the live like we lost, that's clever. We won't ever change minds like the world.
Good afternoon to everyone. If you're just joining us, this is a live feed coming in from Canada, courtesy of one of Jamaica's farm worker who is over there. He's injured also, Mr. Justice. Canadians and other nationals have taken to the streets in Canada to protest injured migrant workers. The government of Canada not doing anything, and the Jamaican government is even worse. Please like and share this video. Share it to as many people as you can to let them know that our farm workers are in deep, deep trouble. Some of them come back home to Jamaica. They don't have the medication. They can't afford the medication. The Ministry of Labour, along with the Jamaican government, does nothing about it.
Justice for workers, justice for workers. Justice, justice for workers, justice for workers, justice for workers. Hands up in the air. Hands up in the air. Hands up in the air. Now free.
Good afternoon. I'm Willie Niles, past president of Aniwig. I want to welcome you to 40 years of fighting for a fair and just compensation system. And I want to welcome all the QP delegates that came out to staff. Thank you so much. And I have the honor of standing with some of the best MPPs in that legislature today. We've got Lise Bourget, we've got Jamie West, we've got Joel Harden, Sarah Jama. Welcome all, and thank you for your fight at Queen's Park. And I'm going to give the microphone now to Lise to say a few words.
Thank you, Willie. I am so honored and proud to be here. I'm proud to be the WSIB Injured Workers Critic for the NDP. And I am standing up there every possible moment fighting for the care that injured workers and people made ill on the job are not receiving and deserve to receive.
WSIB has been attacking workers for the last 40 years by taking away and every day, I have to say, I'm listening to the Minister of Labor, Bonji McNaughton, who is not here. And he is claiming to be the best possible minister doing all these things for workers. But he does not care about workers when you are injured on the job. He does not care about workers when you have an occupational disease. God forbid you have an occupational disease, you will wait forever before it's even acknowledged. So I want to give you my undying support. Thank you for being here. It's an incredible show of support. We will keep fighting back till the bitter end. It's not done till it's done.
Thank you, Lise. And I also want to acknowledge Jamie West introduced a bill yesterday to actually officially recognize Injured Workers Day. Thank you, Jamie. And our newest MPP, Sarah Jama from the Great Riding and Hamilton Center. She is the disability critic, and of course that impacts injured workers, so I'm going to let her say a couple of words. Thank you.
One thing I want to say is this government has systematically disposed of disabled people for years across this province. We've seen it in our public long-term care homes. We've seen it in our hospitals where disabled people and sick people are continuously being abandoned, and we're seeing it in the treatment of injured workers who are disabled because of disabling workforces. The workforce does this to us, and then we're tossed out. That is not okay. And workers need to fight back against disabling conditions and governments that say that we have no worth once we cannot produce. That is not okay. And as your MPP, I'm committed to taking on this fight with the Ontario MPP and continuing to stand in this fight with you to make sure that you have the protections that you need in your workplaces.
The fight must continue. I would now like to welcome Ted LaRue, who's the QP Injured Worker Group representative. Ted?
Labor movement. So my name is Ted. I won't be able to speak a lot because I have diagnosis with pulmonary fibrosis. My lungs are functioning at 100% as a result of the.
If you're just joining us, we're coming to you live from Ottawa, Canada, where farm workers are demonstrating. Injured farm workers are migrant farm workers are demonstrating, along with other Jamaicans and other farm workers have taken to the streets, telling the Canadian government, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada, that they are working in subconscious conditions. And they're saying the same thing to the Jamaican government. The time has come for them to do something.
My daughter, they were all infected because we shared the same premises. My wife was equally, now she cannot walk as I'm talking to you today. So that is what this compensation we're talking about, WSIB and the government to help us through. When we gave our lives to help others, we got injured, and now we are on our own. The amount, yes. So we are on our own. We have to come up with our own money to buy PPEs, to buy assistive devices. My wife is now on wheelchair. We just finished paying about the last $780. We have to add some of the found bars in the bathroom because she cannot stand, and the chairs that we need to sit on because she cannot. So all these things are on our own. When we got injured doing that what we were asked to do, and we are proud doing that what we did. So we also want to make sure, and we also want the government to look and say, okay, if that is the case, we are also here with you, and not just rhetoric that we're in this together. And when that really happens, you find yourself on your own. That's not fair. So if that's the fight, together we could win. We cannot lose. Thank you very much.
explaining what injured workers go through on a regular basis. And it's why this fight must continue. I would now like to invite Sharon Richard, Secretary Treasurer.
Hi there. Hi, everybody. My name is Sharon Richard. I'm the Secretary Treasurer of the Ontario Council of Hospital Unions for QP. And we represent about 40,000 RPNs, PSWs, housekeeping, dietary, clerical, and so many more occupations. I just want to talk a bit about violence. Violence continues to be out of control within the walls of our hospitals. 86% of hospital staff have experienced violence in their workplaces. Every day, hundreds of healthcare workers have been hit, bitten, sexually assaulted while at work from patients, from families, and from visitors. 44% of healthcare workers have reported that if they report the violence that they're experiencing, they fear for reprisal. To add to this insult, literally, healthcare workers have often felt blame when they have been assaulted. Workers have reported that supervisors would ask them, "How did you approach the patient? What kind of tone was in your voice?" To add further harm that is being done by the violence itself, many staff members have found without adequate support from the incidences, leaving them to suffer emotionally, physically, and financially. Now imagine, you're an RPN, you're going into a room in a forensic unit. You go in, the door locks behind you. Your patient seems to be agitated. The patient reaches out to you, grabs the bedside table, pushes you against the wall. Your co-workers, you start yelling. Your co-workers can see what's happening, but they can't get in because the door is locked. And the patient is punching you in the face. This happens often. You are yelling, but nobody is coming to your defense. You apply for WSIB because you have physical injuries and your emotional stress. And to your surprise, the hospital is now challenging your claim. You don't deserve this. You just went to work that day. Far too often, injured workers are discarded like yesterday's trash by their employers, and they are not given a second thought. It is time to create meaningful change to keep workers safe and to show WSIB for injured workers is a right that we shouldn't have to fight for. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Definitely, workers' comp is a right. I would now like to invite Mr. Justice from the Migrant Injured Workers Group. Thank you. Good afternoon. Because one thing that Canada strive on is silence. Am I right? No. Yes. We have become vocal over the years. Because 1950, you all made a deal and you get a slap in the face. That's injustice for me. My name is Mr. Justice because I believe in equal rights and justice. Equality for all. None should be left untreated or be humiliated or be abused or even wrongly accused. Injustice for one is injustice for all. We say full justice, no half measures. When in Canada, you as an employer allowed to dispose of your worker when he or she is injured? When? How? Is that justice? No. Why are you denied health care benefits? For me, I'm a migrant worker, so my health card get took away a long time. I provide the food that you eat. I plant it, I harvest it, I pack it. My hours like 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. They tell me when to rest, when to wake, what to do. I comply. But when my injury happened, I realized that I was just a number. Abandoned by my Jamaican government, and you wonderful citizens are fighting here for migrant workers and for all injured workers. You continue to fight and push back the journey. If we don't fight something, we will end up losing everything. An injured man? Full justice? No half measures. Thank you, Mr. Justice. I would now invite the Occupational Disease Reform Alliance, my neighbor and friend, Bruce Allen. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. To begin with, I want to bring you greetings and solidarity from St. James and Peterborough, with the principal spokesperson for the Occupational Disease Reform Alliance. What is the Occupational Disease Reform Alliance? It is a coalition of occupational disease victims, the widows of occupational disease victims, trade unionists, and workplace health and safety advocates. The Occupational Disease Reform Alliance was formed in response to the emergence of clusters of occupational disease cases in cities across Ontario, resulting in the deaths of large numbers of workers. One of these clusters was located in the city I am from, St. Catharines, where dozens of workers employed by General Motors died of diseases like mesothelioma and lung cancer due to prolonged exposure to asbestos in their workplace. For me, this has been representing workers dying of these diseases and meeting with them in cancer wards, in hospices, and in their homes after they were sent home to allow them to die in familiar surroundings with family members by their side. My experiences are only too familiar to the members of the Occupational Disease Reform Alliance. Collectively, these experiences fuel our activism and our outrage at the murder of workers by employers. But what particularly enrages us is the knowledge that only a small percentage of the workers who develop occupational diseases will file a WSIB claim in response and get their claim allowed. This means they are being denied justice. This is what must change. This means that the legislation for taking workers' compensation and the WSIB's operational policies must be changed to finally enable the allowance of far more occupational disease claims in the WSIB. This can't be done. It has been done with respect to firefighters, and as a result, the number of occupational disease claims successfully filed for firefighters is substantially increased. Same thing must happen for all Ontario workers. The Occupational Disease Reform Alliance has 4 demands. 1, award compensation for workplace diseases that far exceed the disease rate occurring in the general community population. 2, award compensation for cancers associated with working with cancer-causing chemicals and other agents rated by the International Agency for the Research on Cancer and the group 1 and group 2 carcinogens. This means making a presumption that they are occupational in nature. 3, award compensation for disease where workers were exposed to several carcinogens and other chemicals that may promote cancer development or enhance the toxic effects. 4, the WSIB must abandon its impossible search for absolute certainty and consider multiple sources of scientific evidence available, including medical and community and worker-based research. If these demands are met, the situation will change.
and it will change for the better, delivering a lot more justice for workers with occupational disease. One last thing must be said. Over a year ago, the Ontario NDP tabled private members Bill 125 in the Ontario legislature, which, if passed, would make the changes we advocate the law. We call on the Ontario NDP to reintroduce Bill 125 in the legislature, and we demand the support government fully support it. If it does, we will finally seek more justice for workers with occupational diseases. Because the WSIB will be legally compelled to change its operational policy to incorporate our demands. Our fight on these issues has been a long, hard one, but we are determined to continue it until we win. We will not fight the compromise with those who will not hold corporations to murder workers to account. We will only fight to win. Fight to win.
Thanks, Bruce. And I would also like to acknowledge Jessica Bell, the housing critic for the NDP. And now I'm going to call up the very Toronto and York Regional Labour Council President Andrea Babington.
So I'm just going to echo from what the speaker before me, two speakers ago, I forgot his name now, remind us that an injury to one is an injury to all. Yes. And we're here this afternoon sending the message to the government, we're sending it to WSIB, but we are all injured. As long as a worker is injured on the job, we are all injured. This is our way. I have to tell you this story. I remember my first job in this country. When I walked to the Sheraton Center Hotel, HR manager said to me, one of the responsibilities for me as a worker and for all those workers is to make sure that you're not injured on the job. And if you ever get injured on the job, then they're right there to make sure that you have protection. But then we know that's not true. I watched over those years watching those employers putting up a bingo in the hallway. And it comes down every day that someone is not injured on the job. And if there's no injury, you win a huge television to go home with. And what happened with that? A lot of workers wasn't reporting their injuries. Not because they wanted the television. It's because other worker would say, it's your fault why I didn't win the television. And that's it. I watch management post huge pictures in the hallway with this little makeshift money from WSIB they get back for not reporting those injuries. And so we know that this system is a system that's set up for just one half to benefit from it. WSIB set up a system where the workers' voice are not heard. Yes. Coming from a sector where there are cleaners, I don't know if you know that. If you clean rooms, your job is more dangerous than a construction worker. But yet nowhere in WSIB identify those workers when they're injured. And so management spend their entire time telling those workers, when you hurt, it's your age. It's your age why you hurt. And workers continue to hurt until the day that they look forward to retire and have that surgery because they know that they're not going to be protected when they do those surgery for somebody taking care of them. And that is a bloody shame. Today I'm here as representing the Toronto and York Regional Labour Council. We represent over 220,000 working men and women across the sector. And every one of those workers go through this story that I'm talking about. Before the pandemic and now through the pandemic, healthcare workers are suffering. They're hurting. They're sick. They're suffering workplace illness. And where is the government? Where is their employer? Education workers are going through the same. And every single sectors are going through it somewhat. But there is no representation there on their own. And we are here to send a message that we're going to continue across the province
It's about respect for injured workers. It's about standing up for our human rights. Sisters, brothers, come on. Let us continue to stand strong and continue to fight back.
Thank you, Andrea. And I would now like to call up Harry Goslin, the OCEU UP Local 1750 president.
Clear. Over here, cooler.
As Jesse said, my name is Harry Gallatin. I'm president of Ontario Compensation Employees Union, and I represent the workers at WSIB. It is a true honor for me as a union activist and as an injured worker myself to be here to support Injured Workers Day and to call on the government to make needed changes. When I was 19, I was in an accident. I lost half my hearing. My claim was denied. When I went to work at WSIB, I have prevented strange injuries with a permanent condition. My claim was denied. I know your pain. I feel your pain. I want to change the organization from the inside. Can't do that. We have to stand together. We have to fight united to change the system, to change the organization, to get justice. For 30 years, I've worked at WSIB. I was hired by then the Workers' Compensation Board. It will always be workers' compensation. I remember when I first started my new job, my father, who was a union activist himself, asked me if there were like quotas. What do you guys do there? Well, I had just started my training, and I was able to tell him. Back then, it was 6 months of training, unlike what it is today, much less. I started my training, and I was able to tell him that we were taught to find ways to get entitlement, to give the workers the benefit of the doubt, get them access to the medical care, and return to work services they needed, not to look to deny claims. The workers' comp I was hired at 30 years ago needs sweeping reform. They need to fairly recognize the historic compromise. The organization and the government have to remember that workers gave up the right to sue in exchange for no-fault entitlement for coverage for as long as the disability lasts. It is inexcusable for my co-workers to be held back from doing the kind of jobs that they are capable of because of the provincial government's indifference to creating a fair compensation system through legislative amendments. I'm a firm believer that it is important, no, it is imperative for the government and for the WSIB to listen to those who know where the problems exist and fix them. They need to listen to the workers of the WSIB and the injured workers that have experienced the system. Injured workers have made their opposition to the KPMG report well known. Injured workers report that instead of improving access to the appeals system, the KPMG report changes that made it harder to get justice. We need leadership of the WSIB to hear these concerns and act on the advice of the workers they are here to serve. I want WSIB to work with the group that best represents injured workers, the Ontario Network of Injured Workers. As you well know, last year the Ford government gave directions to the WSIB to refund $1.5 billion of their multi-billion-dollar surplus.
Back to the employers.
Year over year before that, they gave premium cuts to employers. All total, it's over $4 billion that has been given back to corporations.
Shame!
I ask, where is the fairness for injured workers? Why hasn't the province used WSIB surplus to support injured workers? That's right. It's a shame that over 1.5 million workers in Ontario are not part of the safety net. They do not have coverage under the Workplace Safety Insurance Act. That's disgusting. Where is Ford for the little guy? As a collective force, we call on the province to step up and do the right thing to make sure every worker in Ontario is part of the safety net. The province should also replace wage replacement rates. They should unwind the cut to 85% and restore the 90% of net earnings. They should restore the loss of retirement income from 5 to 10%. Who can live on 5% of retirement income? The Ford government is literally asking workers, injured workers, to do with less. That's wrong, and that is shameful. Too many of my coworkers are running on fumes because of work overload, constant change, micromanagement, and more. They don't write the legislation. They don't write the problematic policies like pre-existing conditions and deeming. They're forced to apply those policies. We need to change them. Our union surveys have shown the majority of my coworkers, the workers at WSIB, do not feel that the workplace is psychologically safe or healthy. Think about that. The people that are here serving you feel they do not have a psychologically healthy or safe workplace. About half of the workplace in our survey also says they cannot keep up with the constant pace of change in the organization. That hurts all of us. In a recent telephone town hall meeting with my union members, where I had over 3,000 people participated, 87% said they do not feel their employer demonstrates respect for union members. True. Yes. When the workers who deliver the services that Ontarians rely on are hurting, it does have an impact on service delivery. We need resources and investment in training so that we can restore training back to what it was when I started there at 6 months. It was cut back to be 1 week. Now they started to move back up to 3 months for some, not all the jobs, not the jobs that are making the major decisions. We need investment in training. We need more resources. And when we can do that, then the wellness of the workers at the WSIB can improve and the service will improve. I'm also here today to tell you about a difficult round of collective bargaining. Right now, we are trying to negotiate fair collective agreements, and we are in a legal strike position. The WSIB has been around for over 100 years, as you well know, but there's never been a strike before. Things are so bad that my coworkers came out in large numbers and voted 97.3% in favor of strike action. If we do not secure a fair agreement, we will be faced with a difficult decision to commence strike action. Union members have made it abundantly clear that they cannot and will not accept a deal that does not address serious systemic workload problems, solutions to resolve our grievances, and fair compensation. We have numerous workload grievances that include systemic problems affecting over 700 people that have put their name to the grievance. Member morale at the WSIB has been a major concern. The only way to improve working conditions is to address the very real and pressing workload problems. My coworkers and I are taking a stand right now, this year, this round of bargaining to defend our wellness and standard of living and to fight for a WSIB that prioritizes workers and their needs. We will continue to focus on a fair deal, but we are prepared to strike. Our employer has told us that they will cut employee health care benefits and they will discontinue short-term disability entitlements. Should we evoke any job action or strike action? I ask, how is an organization that is supposed to be about safety, how can they do that to vulnerable people? Nothing concerns us more than the effect job action can have on injured workers who need our help. We are workers too, and we need your help.
Yes, you do.
We have amazing allies in the House of Labor and the powerful injured workers group. As an injured worker myself, I am proud to stand with you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your activism. We will never give up. Our fight is not done.
Thank you, Harry. And I want to give a shout out to all those at WSIB. Keep up the fight, because really, we're looking for justice for all workers. That includes workers at the WSIB. Now, without any further ado, I would like to call up the great president of UP Ontario, Fred on. Let them hear the Ministry of Officers of the struggle they are in. When workers and injured workers are united, we can do anything together, friends. Make no mistake. You, injured workers advocacy organizations will have the solidarity of the Canadian Union of Public Employees until injured workers get justice. We have strong voices from our party, the New Democratic Party, in the legislature fighting in Queen's Park. We have injured workers advocates in this crowd, in our members, fighting every day for injured workers' justice. We have allies in Ireland, in legal clinics, in communities fighting for justice. Friends, let us never forget this. No matter the challenge, when we stand together and when we fight together, we will win together! Thank you, Fred. And again, I want to thank all the CUPE delegates who came out on their lunch hour to support us today. And as Harry mentioned, one of the big fights we have coming up now is this KPMG audit that basically wants to quash any chance of getting any type of compensation. And we know that the power rests with the minister up in this ivory tower here. So we are going to continue to fight and push Monty McNaught to actually stand up for workers. They said in 2018, we're here for the people. Bullshit. We know that they've only ever been there for employers and corporations. Shane is right. They have to be for workers. We are the true voters in this province. Yes. And now for anybody who is interested, we will be walking over to Cecil Street to the Steelworkers Hall for some cake and pizza. So anybody who's interested, please follow us. We'll be walking with the flag up right here. And again, thank you all.
There you have it, my friends. Coming to you live from Ontario, Canada. Migrant workers, injured migrant workers are calling for justice, along with our own Jamaican citizens. This is live from Ontario, Canada, courtesy of one of our own Jamaican farm worker who is injured. His name is Mr. Justice. He reached out to me and asked me if I could do this live on my channel, and I told him with all pleasure I can.
Yes, Jeffrey Tavares, we thank you for bringing this coverage so Jamaicans can see. I'm here with a Jamaican, Mr. Tavares.
Lloyd Campbell.
Lloyd Campbell. Look at him. Yes,
Mr. Campbell. But I came here a long time ago.
I think this is yours. I didn't want to lose it. Oh, you're trying to take my clothes off.
Sorry, there. Yes. So you want to say something to Jeffrey? Is he not saying something to Jeffrey?
Yes.
Well, give me a minute, Jeffrey. I gotta have him speak to you.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Campbell, how are you doing?
Not bad.
Listen to me. Tell me what is going on in Canada at the moment. Jamaicans.
I'm trying to hear him.
No, speak. He said speak.
Yes, sir. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yes, are you hearing me?
Yes.
No,
I'm saying to you, what do you think of what is going on?
I'm talking, however, but what are you asking me?
What kind of question do you want to ask him, Jeffrey?
Yes, tell me the atmosphere, what is going on, and have you been a migrant worker too?
Oh, he said, tell him what your background, whether you were a migrant worker or what did you do?
Okay, so I came here when I was 11. My mom came here illegally first, and then after she gets started out, right? Let me get the background. After she gets started out, then she sent for me, and I came here a long time ago. Because I'm up in my 40s now, almost 50, right? But I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, Vineyard. You know, I've been transferred to primary, build up, you understand? If I had stayed, I would have been a purple and white person. You know, it's already crazy. But yeah, that's all. Yeah, I've been here. I've been with the city of Toronto now since 1992. So this is my 31st year with the city of Toronto. And I'm part of Local 79, which is the inside workers for the city of Toronto.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You say thank you.
Yes. Nice chatting. All right. Pick up yourself.
Make we talk. So
This
you
is
can
one of my colleagues.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Make we talk.
Yeah, I see.
Yes. So make we
He's
talk.
part of Local 79. He's one of my colleagues. Yes.
You're from Jamaica as well?
Trinidad. Yeah, another Caribbean.
Come on, Trinidad. Give a shout out in the house. What you talking about? Go around there.
All right, well, I was born here, but my parents are Trinidadian. I have flight ties in Trinidad. My dad had a shipping company in Trinidad at one point, so you know, I put a teacher.
I'm not hearing him.
With the city is from long-term care, and you know, my mom has a history with the city in long-term care too. So that's the
What about the injustice that migrant workers face from your country when they come here?
Well, that's what I'm getting into. Obviously, a lot of migrants go into the long-term care field, and you know, a lot of people feel that that's part of the reason why we're having such a big fight. You know, it's one of the industries that are most affected because one we can't strike, two.
As much as I can hear. Migrant worker. They don't realize that.
Mr. Justice, I'm not hearing him. You're just joining us. We're speaking to a Trinidadian who is in Canada. His family, he said, was a former migrant worker, and they're all coming together. You see, you have the Trinidadians, the Canadians. Everybody's coming together to assist not only our Jamaicans, but even Trinidadians and Belize and you know, everybody all over. But mainly our Jamaicans are facing the pans of hell.
Like you said, justice for one another.
So thank you. That's what we're here fighting.
Thank you, my brother.
Nice problem. All right. Yeah. Actually, here, I'll give you my card.
There you have it. Coming to you live from Ontario, Canada.
You hear it from the horse's mouth. The injustice from even Trinidad. So, Mr. What's the Minister of Labor name again?
You have a new minister now. We have Minister Pernell Charles. Carl Samuda has resigned.
He has to. Because it was getting too hot in the kitchen. Because people are recognizing that whatever they're saying is not true.
Mr. Justice, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes. Let me ask you this question. Based on the crowd that we see out there, it seems as if there's a lot of injured workers in Canada, migrant workers, including Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Belize, Bahamas, all over the place. So tell me something. What is the Canadian government doing to assist everybody?
That's what they're trying to do. The place are called SSIB, so that's where you pay through to compensate us.
Yes.
So as I said, in 1915, Canadians signed a deal with them that they wouldn't sue their employer, so they gave up their rights, actually, not to sue their employers. So after 100 years, before you even reach 100 years, they start getting slaps in their face.
Yes.
So every year they go through that board until it was scrapped.
Mr. Justice, hold on for me. Put the camera on you now, go in front of the camera and speak, no man.
Yes, I'm right here. Yes.
There you go.
Come join me, Ali. Come around, Ali. So they gave up their rights to sue the employers, and they get slapped in their face. Every year, there's a new bill. There's a new bill. So this system was designed by William Meredith.
Yes.
Yes, it was a good principle, but still migrant workers or immigrant workers weren't in the bill. We were excluded. We are always exempt from everything because they just want us as slaves. Nothing more.
Yes.
Nothing more. So
Are you
the
still hearing me?
system is failing everyone, including Canadians, because they gave up their rights so they can sue now. So now you're left without health care, you're left with listen, everyone here is plunging into poverty, homelessness, everything. So that is why you see everyone is standing in solidarity, because it's not only affecting migrant workers now, it is now at their doorsteps.
My God.
Yes.
Yes, so let me ask you this question. Have you heard anything from the Jamaican government?
Could you
Have you heard
repeat?
anything from the Jamaican government?
Jeffrey, I want you to reach out to the government and ask him how much injured migrant workers he has on document and filed in Jamaica right now. Reach out to them and ask them if they have a tally of how many is injured and how many has died.
Wow.
And
So
you
let me
will get
ask
the
a question.
answer and if you get the answer, you get back to me. Because
Mr.
even
Justice,
Canada don't have a record of it. Because they don't want to have a record of it.
Wow. So
We are not
Mr.
considered
Justice.
human. We're not considered human. We are considered a number. We are just a thing. And we are standing up because we need that change. Jamaican government, Canadian government, we need them to recognize that we are flesh and blood and we have feeling just the same. We are not being treated as human, we're treated as broken vessel. So we come in, we have to do a medical before coming here. You can't even have a little high blood pressure to come in the country. But when you get injured, what you get is pushed out. They don't even want to take you to the doctor. And if they do take you to the doctor, they take you to their doctor. So their doctor is telling them what the employer is the employer doctor, right? So they are saying what the employer wants to say and not what is really happening to us, the injured worker. So we get a raw deal on every side, and we want that change to happen with immediate effect because as I said, our family are suffering. It's not just us that are feeling it, but it's our family on every side. It has to change. It has to change. Jamaican government need to step up to the table. Our money are going into their pockets and they need to do better. They need to provide health care for injured workers when they come back because most of the time it is not down there that we are injured. Is that we come back healthy and we are okay. Nothing is in the system to say we have been injured and come even when workers have died. Nothing for the family, no compensation. And we are saying we need compensation now. Full justice, no half measures. Compensation as long as injury lasts. We don't get treatment, we don't get medical treatment, we're not getting help. We're living below poverty line. Why? We didn't come here injured. We need that. We need justice. We need the playing field to be leveled. We need the turnaround now. We need them to fix the system that has been put in place since 1966. We need it to change. We need them to, we need, no, I can't, you,
Justice, are you
She's
hearing me?
right here, man. She's right here. We're just getting out of the road.
Okay. She's injured.
You finished?
Injustice, she's injured, Justice?
yeah. We need health care. We need when the workers come back to Jamaica. A matter of fact, we need these liaison officers to leave. We don't need them because they're not for us. The liaison officers are not for us. They are against us. They are in the employer's pocket, and that is who they are for. When we get injured, even if they're writing up our information to say, because really and truly, we don't get those information. We don't know about WSIB. We don't know about the different provinces, the different province and what they are supposed to tell us so we can get compensated. We don't know about these things. Until I got injured, I didn't know anything. It's these people that we have been rolling with that has been making us privy to what is going on, helping us to understand what the system is like and what it's about. As we go along, we're trying to get that change, as we said, because we cannot be living like this. We cannot come each year, some 20, 30, 40 years, until they die, and no compensation, nothing. You die on the job and nothing. We need the government to change. We need them to put things in place so when injured workers come back to Jamaica, they can get help. And also we need the Canadian government to put in action with immediate effect healthcare, so we can get treatment as we're injured, and stop taking what the employer said. They won't tell you the truth. How can you ask somebody that is not feeling what I'm feeling, what is happening to me? How are you expecting to get the right answer?
Hold on there for me. Can I ask you a question? Are you injured? Are you walking with a cane right now?
Yes. Please. I have multiple injuries. I have a brain injury. I have neck injury. My hand just holding this. I am in pain as I speak to you. I have back injuries. My spine is injured. My hip is injured. My knee and both my ankles are injured. So I am not asking anyone. I am telling you that this is what I'm going through. I'm not an old person. I'm a young lady. And
Justice, let's come up a little bit closer. I can hardly hear her. Let's come up a little closer.
Come up a little closer. I can hardly hear you.
Yeah, I can hardly hear it. Just stand right there and speak now. Right there, yes.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing it. Stay right there and speak. Repeat what you were saying.
Yes, I am saying to you that I have a brain injury. I have a neck injury. All of my left arm is injured. I have multiple tears and cracked bones. My spine is injured, my hip, my knee, and both my ankles. I am living testimony of what I'm telling you. I'm living below poverty line. Why? Because nothing is put in place, neither here in Canada or in Jamaica, for injured migrant workers. And we're saying we need change now. We need change now. We need a playing field, to all of the barriers to be pulled down and things to be put in place so we can get treatment. We are willing to work. We are hard workers. You know this. We are hard working over 18 hours a day. But still, when you're injured, you can't come and help here. What is that? Shame on the Jamaican government, shame on the Canadian government. We need things in place for migrant workers. Now they put something in place saying that we have to file in 1 month. How can we file in 1 month when the mail doesn't even reach in Jamaica in 1 month? How long the mail take to reach in Jamaica? How would we file?
Hold on for a minute. Let me ask a question. Can you come on my program and let us
You will
talk
be
some more
coming on
about
the
this?
program, Mr. Jeffrey, because we have to go now. We have to go now. All right,
Okay,
so yes. So it was nice
can I have on my
having you to
program,
stream
Justice?
live. I will be in touch with you, but our
All right,
drive
Justice.
leaves
Thank
now.
you.
All right, take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Have a
much.
blessed
Thank
and
you.
wonderful day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Same to you. That is Mr. Justice out of Canada. We're speaking to an injured migrant worker a while ago out of Canada. That is Mr. Justice there. There you have it. It was a live feed coming to you from Ontario, Canada, where farm workers, injured farm workers, some of them can't come back home to Jamaica because they don't have the proper health care. Neither the Canadian nor the Jamaican government is doing anything about it. And there you go, a Jamaican citizen who was sent away in the farm work program. Nothing ever wrong with her. She was good. And now she have multiple injuries because of the chemical and because of the harsh hours, the long hours. And you hear them say that sometimes when you go to some of these farms, the owner for the farms take away the travel documents. Take it away totally. Now tell me something. In the back of the Jamaican passport, it said it's the property of the Jamaican government. No one is allowed to take the passport from you. Unless you're going through immigration. Leave immigration to take the passport from you either. And you see what is going on? Well, I'm praying and hoping that the new minister of Labor and Social Security, Colonel Charles Jr., will speak some more about this, because I'm going to try and get him on my program. This is modern day slavery. This is modern day slavery. They're sending our people away in. And not only Jamaicans, the government of the Caribbean, CARICOM, have been sending away their CARICOM nationals into modern day slavery. And we sit down and don't say a word. Canadian citizens, some of them not even have never worked on a farm, decide to get up and speak out and stand up, not only for our Jamaicans, but for other Caribbean nationals. Is it that CARICOM is not aware of it? Or is it that CARICOM is putting a blind eye to this? Because it's all over the Caribbean. So CARICOM need to do something. And the Minister of Social Security, the Minister of Labor and Social Security in Jamaica need to do something, because we are sending away our men and women into modern day slavery. And I want to apologize to no one for what I'm saying. I will not apologize to no one for what I'm saying. I'm going to try and get this young lady on my program even this evening or tomorrow to speak some more of what she's been going through. How long shall we continue like this as a nation? And by the way, I'm getting to understand that when you go down to the Ministry of Labor to get the local slavery job for go to Canada or wherever, you're being stripped naked. So the modern day slavery starts from your country. You're being stripped naked. You're being stripped naked. So it starts from the Ministry of Labor. But I promise my viewers on this channel that I will do everything in my power to bring this more to light. And I'll do everything in my power to bring more of this to you, and it can be shown all over the place that this so-called farm work program from the 1960s is living modern day slavery. It is modern day slavery. And I'm saying to you all this evening, or this afternoon, wherever you're watching from around the world, call a spade a spade. What is going on? It went on from the 1960s until this blessed day. So successful government knew and know about it and does nothing about it. But thank God for a thing they call internet and social media. Thank God for it. I'm going to close this program and I'm going to try my endeavor best to get those workers in Canada, along with the people who helped them to organize this demonstration, to come on my program and speak some more about this. May God have mercy upon us all. Until you hear my voice again, remember, share this platform. Share it up. But let's subscribe to this platform, because we don't bring no fake news around here. We bring the news as it is, unfiltered. And we will continue to stand up for the fundamental rights of the Jamaican people and people around the world. They're sending people to Nova Scotia to work as in Canada, to work into modern day slavery. Jamaica didn't have to, listen to me. We were the gem of the Caribbean, you know. Jamaica was the gem of the Caribbean. We didn't have to do all of this, you know. But because of political leaders and their greed, and they put the country in $2 trillion debt, they don't provide jobs for our people. And they claim, oh, mama love you, papa love you, and all kind of thing love you. But they don't create jobs for our people. Yes, we signed some deal with Canada from in the 1960s, but it is modern day slavery. It is modern day slavery. And if these governments, both the PNP and the JLP, the truly of the people of Jamaica, they have created jobs for our people. Why can't we build back factories in our country? Why can't we have back free zone in our country and give people work to do? Why can't we do that? Why can't we build some factories? We're well renowned as the land of wood and water. There's nothing that we can't do. There's nothing that Jamaicans cannot do. There is nothing that if we don't put our mind and our heart to it that we can't do. We can do it. We are and always will be Jamaicans. No matter where in the world we go, we are and always will be the envy of the world because what? We are Jamaicans. A lot of people envy us of our country, but we are running away from our country because of what? Because of the political system in our country. Rise up and stand up, my fellow Jamaicans. No more will we stand by and allow the political elites to continue demoralized and continue to rape the economy of this country. No more. We need to stand up. We need to come together and fight against the corruption of of what is going on in the country. The two political parties as corrupt as ever. You believe that what is going on now with the Andrews administration just started? They are the worst, of course. But Jamaica has been in so much corruption. They continue to milk the economy of this country for years. If we should sit down and calculate how much money has been misspent, how much money has been stolen, how much money has how much project has gone into overrun, you'll be surprised. We're in a debted country. When I say a debted country, I mean that we are in debt of the tune of $2 trillion. $2 trillion. I look at 2 by for a country like Jamaica hold $2 trillion. They can send all who they want to send. I am protected in the hands of Almighty God. So Andrew can send who he want to send. No, man. He can send all who he want to send. I will not stop talking until God take the breath out of me. I will not stop. We cannot put party over country. We cannot put PNP over Jamaica. We cannot put JLP over Jamaica. We cannot put UIC over Jamaica. We cannot put the NDM over Jamaica. Jamaica come first. That little piece of rock, that gem in the Caribbean, that everybody envies so much, is bleeding from within. And our farm workers are sent away into modern day slavery. And none of the government from 1966 until now, they didn't do a damn thing about it. They didn't do one damn thing about it. Successful minister of Labours didn't do a damn thing about what is going on. And I'm saying this evening. I am asking the Ministry of Labour along with the Jamaican government, how many farm workers come back home into Jamaica with sickness, and how much of them is died? How much of them dead? How many farm workers come back home dead? How many farm workers went away and come back home with some sickness, some illness? And how much of them gone underneath the earth 6'6"? We can't build factories for our people in this country. And we're talking about a 2030 vision to live and work where? In a crime-infected, corrupt nation that is knocking behind our sister Haiti back door. That's what they're talking about, our 2030 vision. Huh? My God Almighty, have mercy. Well, I hope the new Minister of Labour and Social Security see this demonstration out of Canada and do something. And I hope and pray that this new Minister of Labour order a forensic audit into the Ministry of Labour when it comes on to the part program money, because some hanky-panky going on in there. Some hanky-panky going on in there. Then they thief the money. My fellow viewers, my fellow Jamaicans, home and abroad, remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you for your support. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your support. And may God bless you and your family. May God continue to provide for you and your family. And may God bless Jamaica land we love. Until you hear my voice again, speaking out for my fellow Jamaicans. Until you hear Wilfred Radigan, Herb Nelson Jr., Wayne Lonesome and others, Andre Stevenson and others, speaking for this blessed rock of ours. Continue to support us. Continue to send this videos around. Continue to like, share, and subscribe to our channels. May God bless you and may God bless the land of wood and water that we love so much, Jamaica. Have a good evening. By the way, we're going to start something on this program here where small businesses can create videos or send your stuff to us. I'm going to create something that you can send it to us where you can, have advertisement like this one here.
Do you need graphic design services? Or maybe you need branding for your business? How about multimedia production services? Contact Browns Media and Graphics at 876-877-1870. Browns Media and Graphics, developing your ideas, creating your style.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend.